Hey, what's the story? Yours truly, Philbo here, and welcome back to Philbo Reviews. I do apologise for the late nature of this concert review. It is October, it is spooky season, and you get caught up in the film reviews. There's some good new releases at the moment. I do apologise, but better late than never. I, of course, am talking about Die Art is Murder, Heriot and Survivalist, live in the Academy, Dublin, Republic of Ireland, October 10, 2025. So, without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? So, gig was on a Thursday. I fucking love Thursdays. It's my favourite day of the week, whether it's a payday or a non-payday. If you know my channel and you know me, you know I love Thursdays, and that's a gig on a Thursday is absolute perfection for me. So, I mosey myself into the Academy. The Academy is an extremely popular venue in Dublin for metal concerts. I must be on about 150, 170 concerts in there, honest to God. And it wasn't always a metal concert. It used to be the biggest, coolest nightclub in Dublin called Spirit Nightclub. And I'll never forget in college, it was an over 25s nightclub, right? Over 25s, like. And I was 18 in college. And I remember one of the girls, Kathy, big shout out, Kathy. I'll never forget her. She loved purple. She used to wear purple all the time. It was like her favourite thing in the whole world. She was obsessed. And she was like 28 or 30 at the time, and I was 18. She goes, Phil, just put your arm around me and walk in with me, and if he has a problem, I'll say, listen, I'm 28 years old, or what have you. Of course I'm not with an 18-year-old. He's 26. And he goes, okay, let him in. So I was like, king of the castle. Phil, you got into Spirit Nightclub. What was it like? It's like £30 in, 4 floors. It was the coolest thing. But anyway, that was good. I actually, they had podiums in Spirit Nightclub in the actual room where the Academy gigs are held now. And there was 2 podiums on either side. Shout out to anyone who will remember Spirit Nightclub in Dublin. 2 podiums on either side of the stage in the main area of the Academy. And there used to be women dancing on them. Not naked or anything, just like, Spirit was considered the greatest, coolest four-floor nightclub that Dublin's ever seen. And they used to just kind of dance. And I obviously, that first time I got in with Kathy and the people from college, I was lathered. I was steaming drunk, proper wankered, like. And I climbed up onto the podium and start, grabbing the pole and dropping it like it's hot and all. And the security reefed me out by the neck, like proper reefed me out by the neck. And I felt like going, leave me alone, I'm only 18. But I wasn't, I was 26. And they were bringing me right to the back door, like right out to the side entrance. And I don't know whether you know, but in the late 90s and early 2000s, if you got dragged out of a nightclub and brought out the emergency exit, you're going to get the shit kicked out of you. And then they're going to send you on their way. But 2 of the girls from college, Laura, Jane, and Kathy, the one who got me in, they ran over straight to me and goes, no, leave him alone. He didn't mean it. He wasn't trying to do anything. He just wanted to. He's just thick. Just leave him alone. He's stupid. He's thick. And then he had my arm behind my back and he was like trying to break my arm. I was like, dude, listen to her. I've never been here before. I didn't know you couldn't climb up on the podiums. And he literally at the last second just went, fine, go on in then. And I was like, whoa. A, he was about to break my arm. 2, he was going to take me outside and probably fucking skull fuck me. And 3, those girls saved my life. So I'll never forget the first time I was in Spirit. And it was years later that I connected the dots that the room where all the main events in the Academy is held is that same room that I got dragged out of and got pulled out of and all. So, it's a funny, the circle of life and all that. Lion King. But I walked in to the middle area because, as I say, I wanted to check out the merch area. And they go, no, that area is closed off. I was like, why? And she goes, well, it just is. I was like, okay, I'll just head upstairs to the top bar and get see if I can get a spot on the balcony. And she goes, that's closed as well. I was like, what? She goes, yeah. I go, then where's the merch? She goes, it's in the main hall, over to the left. And I go, why? And she goes, oh, it just is. So the middle merch area was closed. The upstairs area was closed, which I've never seen before. And the merch was in the main hall over to the left. And I was like, I don't think this is sold very well at all. And all the signs were there. So I couldn't go upstairs. So I said, no problem, I'll go into the main hall and set myself up there. So first band up was Survivalist. Survivalist hit the stage like an absolute bat out of hell. I bumped into Gav, the singer, and put my arms around it and squeezed the shit out of him. I was like, get back here, you big lug. Because, you know, you can smell your own, you know. And delighted to meet him. I've been listening to him. I got right on the bandwagon about a month before the gig. Incredible band. Belfast City, groovecore crew, Survivalist. Made up of Gav, Nick, Reese, and Lee. They are so badass. And I was really, really excited to check them out. And let me tell you something for nothing. They had the entire floor completely jammed for their set. 6:30 set. Maybe 20 to 7, I'm not sure, but a 30-minute absolute blinder. So let's talk about that, shall we? First off, let me talk about the lead singer. Gav parted the Academy Sea like the fucking Red Sea. He commanded them like fucking the Pied Piper led the rats out of Ireland. But in this case, he led the fucking metalheads to mosh heaven. It was full of energy. The guitar player got down in the middle of the crowd, and there was spinning circle pits around him while he soloed. It was fucking sick as all fuck. They banged out tracks like Deathbed, which is one of the first ones I heard when I was checking them out. Radio Bleed, Greater Negative. I mean, they fucking killed. They killed. They thanked the crowd. They said, do as much as you can. Give us as much energy as you possibly can, but save a little bit of energy for Heriot, who are coming up next, who the band actually adore and said they're the coolest people ever, which I don't doubt. But the crowd gave Survivalist every single ounce. It was killer. They were heavy as fuck. Pure groovy, incredible heavy riffs, and a kick-ass vocal out of the lead singer, Gav. I can't recommend them enough. Survivalist from Belfast, groovecore, man. Groovecore, get used to that title. Groovecore from Belfast. It was an incredible 30 minutes, and what an exhibition of what they are capable of. They fucking killed. The crowd absolutely drenched in sweat at 7:10 on a Thursday evening, already completely wiped out. Now, I can't say enough good things about that band. I am completely on board. They have a new single out at the moment called Failure of Being. So you can check that out on YouTube and check that out everywhere where you can buy music. Their new single, Failure of Being. Check it out. They're on YouTube, Deathbed, Radio Bleed. The videos are super fucking cool as well. Gnarly videos, especially the one for Greater Negative. Super cool. Great band. Can't wait to check them out in the future. They were a 10 out of 10. What a start to the night. You know what? Had we peaked at that point, or could it get any better? Because we knew Heriot was on the route, and they are an absolute beast. But big respect to Survivalist. Check them out as soon as you possibly can. You will not regret it, and tell them Philbo sent you. So let's get on to the second band, shall we? Heriot. With barely any time to take a breath, I was just at the bar, ordered myself a whiskey and a pint, and all of a sudden, Heriot, bang, on stage, 7:30, on the button. So I turned to the lad. Shout out to a couple of lads I saw at the bar, by the way. I'm fucked if I can remember your names. I was a couple of sheets to the wind. Super cool lads. We were bitching about how shit the pints were. By the way, the pints in the Academy are fucking crap. Absolute crap. You need to clean the fucking lines in that place. I mean, even though a pint is being put... I even said to your man behind the bar, I go, which pint is being pulled off the most? What's everybody drinking? Because if anyone knows anything, you go for a pint that everybody's drinking, so there's a good flow in it, and it will taste good. And if there's nobody drinking it, it'll just be drink that's sitting in the pipe, and it'll taste like donkey piss. And he goes, oh, this beer is good. And I drank it. No, it wasn't. So I said to the lads and all, if you come across any nice pints, you tell Philbo about it, because I tried that pint, I tried that pint. I've gone to people going, what are you drinking? And they say, I'm drinking this. And then I tried what they were drinking, and they were all crap. But we were just about to get Heriot going. And I said, lads, if you come across a good beer, let me know about it, because this gig is kicking fucking ass. And we need at least, if we're paying all this money for a pint, it can at least be drinkable, you know, without that tang in the back. But anyway, that's a point off for the gig anyway, for the crap beer. But let's carry on, shall we? Heriot came on, and Gav in Survivalist said, save a bit of energy for Heriot. Don't use it all on them. But do you know what? As soon as they hit the stage and started playing, they were great. They really were. But they were playing. They have one album, Devoured by the Mouth of Hell. What an awesome name. They were banging out tracks. Siege Lord, Sentence to the Blade, Fell Void. I mean, they were crushing. And the female singer, absolutely incredible. They have a real old school Machine Head vibe to them. Like an old school metalcore kind of groove sound to them. With I think they're just awesome. But I think they fell a little short because the energy was like Survivalist killed. Killing was their business, and business during their set was fucking booming. So Heriot, rather than raise the level of energy of the crowd, I think it just plateaued, because they were beat after Survivalist. There was Walls of Death. There was full throwdown moshes. There was guitar players in the middle of spinning circle pits. I mean, it had it all. But don't get me wrong, Heriot, absolute force to be reckoned with. British metalcore band from Sweden, formed in 2014. They are brilliant. Don't get me wrong, they are brilliant. It's just on this particular night, Survivalist set a bar that was almost impossible to overthrow. And hats off to you again for what a performance. And Heriot takes nothing away, but you had a tough act to follow there. And they did their best to get the crowd revved up, but the floor lost about a quarter of the people during Heriot's set, because everyone needed a bloody beer, a whiskey, a spliff, something to relax after Survivalist, because that was a half an hour full pummeling session. But Heriot, again, killer band. I'd love to see them in a headline slot where they can give us their full album, the full experience, and give us all that energy as a headline act. So Heriot, for me, 9 out of 10. So 10 out of 10 for Survivalist and 9 out of 10 for Heriot. The only reason I take a point off is because their energy just didn't quite exceed or bring forward the vibe in the room. Survivalist had peaked the audience right from the get-go. So that's my opinion on Heriot. Great band. I suggest you check them out. Absolutely, as well as Survivalist. So, only thing left now is the headliner. Will Philbo find a nice beer? Will the two lads from the bar come through and tell me that one of the pints is actually drinkable? I mean, at one point, I was like, I was like, you know what? Just forget the beer. Just give me a large Jack, alright? Just give me a large Jack. I can't handle it anymore. You know, I'm not made of fucking 8 or 9 euros per pint, you know what I mean? It's just fucked. So, yeah, stay tuned. Let's get on to Die Art is a Murder. So, headline time. Heriot finish off. Absolute bravo. Great set. 10 tracks. Absolutely love it. Finished with the absolutely crushing At the Fortress Gate. What a song, by the way. So, went back to the bar, saw the lads, and they handed me a pint. And they're like, yes, we found one. I'm like, no way, yes. And I knocked it back. And I was like, do you know what, lads? You just came through for me. That pint wasn't bad at all. And got a picture with them and all, and told them about the channel and all. Very cool, guys. Sorry I can't remember your names, guys. I'm getting on in years. I can't even remember where I leave my runners every day. So don't take any offense. Take a gate. So, Die Art is Murder hit the stage. And the crowd it wasn't a massive, you know, I have a feeling a lot of people came for Survivalist and Heriot. Obviously CJ McMahon was a huge part of Diarta's murder, and his firing really rubbed people the wrong way, and basically the whole band, the way they all went on during that whole thing, you know, for want of a better expression, like a bunch of fucking Karens. Didn't leave a nice taste in any of the fans' mouth. But I said I'd give them a try. I'd never seen them before. Obviously, I'd want CJ as the singer because he was the band. If you ask me, his fucking antics, the raincoat with the hood up, the vocals, you know, his feet never touched the ground. I mean, if you ever watched the Bus Invaders, of them going through his fucking their Diarta's Murders tour van like 6 or 7 years ago or 10 years ago, whatever. I swear to God, they had every strain of weed known to man. They had like a weed museum on their fucking bus. It was unbelievable. I'm not sure I've ever seen a band so high. But this new singer, Taylor, is it? Tyler? What's this? Check me out. Cheat sheets here. Tyler Miller. He comes out, tries to get the crowd going, and I notice as he's at it, people are like this from the sides and at the front. I was like, did you guys just come here to flip off the new singer? Because that's not fucking cool. And why would you bother? Why waste your money? Don't be a prick. Give them a chance. But I was right fronty front. Now, all this stuff, I have a full half-an-hour video of Survivalist set right from the front row, dead center. Check it out. You won't regret it. I'll put a link below. I also have about 20 minutes of Heriot set. I'll put a link below as well. And I also have maybe 4 or 5 tracks from Diarta's Murder. So you can go along with this review if you like the sound of it and you want to check out some of the footage, check it out. But Diarta's Murder come out with Blood Throne. A great fucking track off Godlike and one of my personal favourites. And they threw out Holy War as well, which is an obvious classic. Join Me in Armageddon. I mean, they really had the chops, but the crowd were getting into the mosh. There wasn't boos or fuck yous or anything like that. But you could the gig. I think if the gig was 70% sold, if the gig got 70% sales, it was a stretch, which I haven't seen in the Academy in a really long time, and I'd be very surprised if Diarta's Murder ever come back, because it was just a really poor turnout, and I have a feeling that the majority of the people were there to see Survivalist and Heriot, and I totally get that, because they're fucking killer. But Diarta's Murder, do you know what, they crushed. I mean, the drumming, the riffs, the vocal now, I don't think holds up at all. I think he does as well as he can, but compared to CJ's vocals all through Diarta's Murder's career, there really isn't much in it. So they blasted out they did only about 50 minutes, like 50 minutes. They went on at like 10 to 9, we're over at 20 to 10 or something. But they finished with Puppet Master, really killer. The sound of the vocal was a bit muffled. The sound wasn't great for the Diarta's Murder set for the vocal, which was a pity. But the crowd were crushing. They got some circle pits. They got some walls of death, the whole bit. But it was all over too quick. It was too little, too late. It was like just straight in, do the 50 minutes, bang out the songs. I mean, the singer took my camera at one point, brought it up on stage, put it into his face while he was singing, and filmed the crowd and filmed the mosh, which is super fucking cool. I love when bands do that. When I went to see Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons, the singer took my camera and the camera stick and filmed the drummer right up to his face, filmed Phil Campbell, like brought it right up to his face and put it in. It was fucking brilliant. He like did a whole sweep of the stage, did the crowd, did himself. I was like, you fucking legend. Absolutely cool. It doesn't always go that way with magicians. It definitely doesn't go that way with magicians. Fucking disappearing fuckers. But Taylor took up my camera and did some filming of the crowd and all, which I always appreciate. So it was heavy. It was too quick, over too fast. 50 minutes, in, out, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. I noticed during the videos that a few people were like this during the show, which I do not appreciate, which isn't fair. I mean, he's a replacement. He's coming in. He's doing what he can doing what he can. I mean, with a singer and a presence like CJ had in Die Artist Murder all through the years. I mean, how can you ever top that? You know what I mean? The only two original guys are the two guitar players, I believe. And so for me, gig was over. I was talking to a super cool guy in the front row as well, beside me. And I always say to people on either side of me before I start filming the gigs, I go, does people filming things at gigs trigger you? And they'd either say yes or no. And I'd say, I do it for YouTube. I'm a seasoned gig goer. I've been to hundreds of these things. I'm not missing the experience or not living in the moment. And the person on my right, I'd always say, does this trigger you? And your man goes, yeah. Well, as long as you don't film me. I was like, okay, fine. But I keep it as discreet as I can. Film from the front row. Because some people lose their fucking minds. I've had people kick phones, kick cameras out of my hand. I've had bands kick cameras out of my hand. And you're being discreet. You're just doing it to promote them. You're getting some footage to go along with the review so people can get a feel for what's going on. So I respectfully ask the people on either side of me, when I'm up the front row, does this bother you? And if they say yeah, or I'd move on. I mean, I think that's fair, don't you? I think that's fair, don't you think? Because I want to do some footage, so you get a feel for the gig. And now, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but the footage I got for Survivalist at this gig is second to none. Link below. I strongly suggest you check it out. So, let's do a rating, shall we, for Die Artist Murder set. To be fair, after the first two bands, it didn't blow me away. I mean, the sound was good. I think Die Artist Murder was a 6 out of 10. There was a bit lackluster. The singer just didn't seem arsed. I mean, a couple of times he was holding the mic and he was almost kind of like holding his head up, kind of like calling it in, like, yeah, what's the story? Holy war. And you're like, he wasn't in it. The crowd, you could tell by the numbers at it that they aren't what they were in Irish people's eyes. But 6 out of 10 for Die Artist Murder. Not sorry I saw them. Had a good time. I mean, it was over in the blink of an eye. I got my nice pint before it, which was a plus. But band of the night, Survivalist, Belfast, groovecore, absolute fucking ledge bags. Gavin, the crew, big shout out to yous. Then Heriot, 10 out of 10 for Survivalist, 9 out of 10 for Heriot. And unfortunately, the headliners, Die Artist Murder, were more like an afterthought at 6 out of 10 in Philbo's humble opinion. A great night, great value for money. I finally got a nice pint in the end. I'm sure the Academy is capable of providing nice pints in the future. But if any of you are watching this, I strongly suggest getting your fucking lines cleaned more often. It wouldn't kill yous. I mean, we're paying big bucks just for a bog standard pint of beer. At least make it drinkable. Please. It's a small request on behalf of all the beer drinkers of Ireland and the metal community whose blood is 94.5% Heineken. Yeah, but as far as the gig goes, as a whole, the whole experience, it was, I enjoy. I walked out with a big smile on my face. The whole gig, as a whole, a big old 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 as a whole. Got to meet some nice new people. And another shout out, Laura, Sheep Girl, who I knew years and years and years ago, bumped into me and recognized me. And saw, like, I haven't, like, honest to God, super old school friend. Got a picture, absolutely loved it. Made 2 new pals at the bar. Made another new pal at the barrier. If you are watching this, drop a comment below and remind me of your names. I do apologize for not remembering. As you can imagine, few sheets to the wind. So, hope you enjoyed this review. Were you at Die Artist Murder, Heriot and Survivalist? Tell me what you think. I want to know what you thought of all the bands. I want to know what you thought of Die Artist Murder set. Was it too short? Was the singer not giving it enough? Were the crowd really fucking hostile with him? Drop a comment below. If you're at the gig, tell me all about it. If you weren't at the gig, I hope I've given you a nudge to check out Survivalist and Heriot. And of course, I wouldn't turn you against checking out Thy Art Is Murder, because they are killer. Just their setup at the moment is not great. So I have a feeling that might be the first and last time I see them in Irish shores. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm glad I ticked it off my list. Honest to God, over 200 gigs now. And they were one that got away. So stay tuned for more gig reviews. The next one coming up is Spine Shank, Drowning Pool, and Head PE in the Academy. And that is just a drip away from being sold out. So get your act together. If you haven't got tickets for that, it's going to be super duper fun. A cool throwback new metal night where you bring you back to 15 and 16 when all this new metal was going crazy. But Spine Shank was genuinely one of the hard hitters of the new metal genre and one of my favourites. And I've never seen them before. So that's going to be exciting. So, may the sun always shine. Thanks for watching. Philbo, out, Bo.